Welcome everyone to L.F.C Pulse. I am Akash and today we are going to review the Premier League Match Week 2. Horrible United, clinical City, title hopefuls Arsenal winning at Aston Villa. Comfortable win for Liverpool, a thrashing to Wolves by Chelsea and Everton crushed by Spurs. And very disappointing week for the newly promoted team. You will get everything today in this video. So stay tuned and keep watching. Before moving forward, please consider subscribing. It means a huge deal for us and give us a strength to make the videos. Please like, subscribe and comment in the comment box below. After a dream start and a late winner in the first match for Manchester United, L.F.C was the villain this time around. First half goal from Welbeck was negated by Ahmad's 60th minute strike. Then Garnacho's sure shot goal was disallowed because of Xerxes' sliding leg. He was in the offside position when Garnacho hit the ball, and because of that goal was disallowed. After that, match went like seesaw, kind of from one end to another end, until 95th minute. Pedro scored a header to give Brighton the lead. The Manchester United defense was sleeping. Nobody was marking Pedro, and he had a free header. So Manchester United's defense is kind of leaking currently, and that costed them the match or definitely 1 point. So their next match is against Liverpool at Old Trafford, and to imagine if they lose that match, will Ten Hag last until Christmas? Because in the past managers have struggled against Liverpool, and as Liverpool versus Manchester United is the biggest match in the Premier League, the defeat will surely raise some questions on Ten Hag's credibility, and it will be a big blow for him. So let me know what do you think about Manchester United's performance this week. Next up, we have Crystal Palace hosting West Ham. Crystal Palace's form at the end of the last season was magnificent. So they won 6 matches out of 10. But West Ham had different ideas this time around. Goals from Souček and Bowen in the second half gave Hammers 2-0 lead. In the first half, Crystal Palace was playing good, but they were unable to break the deadlock. They'll be playing their next match against Chelsea at Stamford. That will be interesting. And West Ham will host Manchester City. That will be a big game for West Ham. After that, we'll go to match number 3. Fulham versus Leicester. Goals from Smith Rowe in the 18th minute and Iobi in the 17th minute on the either side of the half was enough for Fulham to take all 3 points against Leicester. Fulham dominated the game and Leicester was not able to cope up with the Fulham. The difference between championship team or newly promoted team and Premier League side was on display in this match. And for Leicester, the first match spirited performance against Spurs, where they drew 1-1, was not visible in this match. They were fairly outclassed by Fulham in this match. So for Fulham, they will play another promoted side, Ipswich, next week, and they will be trying to keep the momentum, whereas Leicester will host a good side of Aston Villa. Next up, we have the champions Manchester City taking on Ipswich. So another hat-trick for Erling Haaland. How many are those now? Please let me know in the comments. The match started surprisingly in the Ipswich favor. A mistake from Ederson costed City first goal in the 7th minute. But one thing we know about City, they will always come back, and they showed that. In the next 10 minutes, City scored 3 goals, courtesy Erling Haaland 2 goals and De Bruyne 1 goal. The first goal was from the penalty, and to complete his hat-trick in the 88th minute, Erling Haaland scored another goal. That makes his tally of hat-tricks to 7. So this was all-around performance. Initial little jitters from the champions, but they came back and totally outclassed Ipswich. For Ipswich, it was a hard pill to swallow because the first match was against Liverpool and the second match was against the champions. So it is a tough start for Ipswich in the Premier League. So City will travel to West Ham next week and Ipswich will host Fulham, who are full of confidence currently. Boy, it was not a good week for the promoted teams. First, Leicester lost to Fulham 2-1 and then City thrashed Ipswich Town 4-1. Similarly, Southampton hosted Nottingham Forest in their first home match back in the Premier League. But they were not able to mount any concrete attack in their match. On the other hand, Forest was trying to create chances and they were attacking and they got rewarded in the 17th minute when Morgan Smith-White scored the lonely goal in the match. So the lackluster performance from the newly promoted team meant they don't have any point in the match week 2. So Southampton will play away at Brentford in the next match, while Wolves will be hosting Forest. Next up, we have match number 6, Spurs versus Everton. And Spurs thrashed Everton 4-0. The Everton team was totally helpless. And if you see their manager's face after the end of the match, that tells everything. The goals from Bissouma and Romero and a brace by their captain Son saw Spurs thrashing Everton 4-0. Spurs will travel to St. James's Park next week, while Everton will host Bournemouth in the next match. Spurs versus Newcastle will be interesting match. Spurs are all about attacking, and their defense has been good this year, looking good. But yeah, we have to see. This will be like a top 4 type of clash. So whoever performs better will have more chance for top 4. They will try for top 4. Last match on Saturday was between Aston Villa and Arsenal. If you remember, last season Arsenal lost their home match and away match against Villa. So that is a 6-point drop in the season. And if you see the difference between the champions Manchester City and Arsenal, it was only 2 points. So this match was pretty important for Arteta and Arsenal, and they didn't disappoint. So first half was, both the managers were trying to keep the ball, not giving anyone much chances. But that deadlock was broken by Trossard in the second half. Also, Thomas Partey scored a second goal for Arsenal and the match was done and dusted. For Arsenal, it's a very big victory, and this time around they are looking very strong and they will be charging for the title definitely. They haven't been successful for last 2 seasons. We'll see. Will this be the third time will be the charm? So any Arsenal fan, let me know what do you think about your team's performance this week, and do you think Arsenal has it to be a champion? Now let's move to 8th match of the week and the first match on Sunday. It was played between Bournemouth and Newcastle. Bournemouth hosted Newcastle and it was a pretty tight match. In the first half, Bournemouth scored from Tavernier's tap-in. Their XG was higher, they created more chances, they were attacking. Newcastle looked on the defense, but the deadlock was broken by Gordon's header in 76th minute. Bournemouth are yet to be winning the match in this Premier League, and looks like it will be a tough challenge for them. Newcastle struggled, but at the end they picked up a point, and we move forward. Next match on our radar is the first thrashing of the Premier League. Chelsea dismantled Wolves in their own home 6-2. It was a mad affair. The first half was a kind of a seesaw. Chelsea opened the floodgates with Jackson's header. Then Wolves equalized with Cunha's strike. Then again, Palmer scored in 45th minute, and in the added time in the first half, again Wolves equaled with Larsson. But that was the end for Wolves' happiness in the game. The second half started with a bang. Chelsea was on fire, and Madueke scored the second hat-trick of the campaign, Premier League campaign, I mean. And he scored in 49 minute, 58 minute and 63rd minute, and could have had more. Chelsea was very threatening on the attack. And is this the Chelsea we are going to see in the going forward? Let me know, Chelsea fans. What do you think? And is it a fluke, or are we going to see some changes in the Chelsea? That is the question. So yeah, and happenings wrapped up with the 80th minute Felix goal. He played first time after permanently signing for Chelsea, so that was a cherry on the top. Okay, now the last match of the weekend, Liverpool hosted Brentford. It looked like Brentford might give some trouble for Liverpool, but it was in the end pretty comfortable win for Liverpool, and Arne Slot started his Anfield journey with a bang. So 12th minute counter-attacking and fast-paced goal from Luis Diaz, assisted by Diogo Jota, was the highlight. Another goal by Salah in the 70th minute, I think, put the game to the rest. Luis Diaz assisted for that goal. So with a goal and a hat-trick, Liverpool's star boy this weekend was Luis Diaz. Salah scored, and that bow and arrow celebration came again out. Salah is also on the fire, and with the contract talks and everything, looks like he is making his case for staying at the Anfield. So all in all, a very good weekend. Clean sheet, 2 goals for Salah, 1 goal and for Lucho. That concludes our weekend wrap. So let me know how your team did in this weekend. What do you think of your team's chances next week? And stay tuned.